Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So a few months ago, I did Fun Facts About Films Part 1. I didn't even know it was going to be a Part 1, but you guys liked it so much that I figured why not do it some more. So I'm back with Part 2. I did some more digging, looked up some more films, and I found some really interesting stuff. So I think this one is going to be even better than Part 1. I got my little notes right here. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, first film I'm going to talk about is Toy Story 2. Did you guys know that 90% of it got deleted when they were working on it? Why do you ask? Well, someone had entered the wrong command and deleted 90% of the film. And they had a plan to restore the data, but that system failed. So luckily, the technical director, who was a woman, had most of it at home. She didn't have all of it, but she had most of it because she was working on it at home as well. So she had to come and save the day and restore most of the film, and they continued on with production from there. But, whew, I don't even feel like they would have went back to work on it. Like, if it was deleted, they just would have been like, all right, well, I don't know. Or maybe they would have just got pushed back, but that's crazy. That's real wild. On to the next movie. After Ratatouille came out, this kind of is funny to me. Pet rat sales skyrocketed. Everybody apparently wanted a pet rat after watching Ratatouille. And a pet store owner said that sales of pet rats jumped to 50%. 50% after the movie. So I don't know what happened to them rats after they got home, but who knows? I just know if my child asked me for a pet rat. Let's go on to the next movie. Did you guys know that little scene in Wizard of Oz where they're like laying in that field and it starts to snow on them or whatever? Yeah, those snowflakes were made from asbestos. Like the bad stuff that we're not supposed to be touching like that. Apparently a lot of movies around that time, because you know, Wizard of Oz came out in like 1939. So it was filmed like the 1930s. So, you know, back then they have a lot of money or a lot of brain power to not think to do stuff like that. So yeah, they were using asbestos to make the snowflake films, and a lot of other movies during that time did the same exact thing. Also in Wizard of Oz, Toto, the dog, earned more than the Munchkins did. The dog Toto made $125 a week, and the Munchkins only made $50 a week. That's messed up. It's like it's not messed up, but it's kind of like, how does a dog make more than me? But he was the main character, so there's that. Well, his owner made the money, not Toto. What was he going to do with it? Anyway, on to the next. So that famous line from the movie Jaws, what is it? You're gonna need a bigger boat. That was improvised. They had no plans. It was not written in the script. It just happened. And also, a lot of people confuse that line and think that he's saying, we're gonna need a bigger boat, when he's really saying, you're gonna need a bigger boat. Just in case that Mandela effect is getting to y'all. Okay, up next, the movie Scream. Originally, the movie was supposed to be called Scary Movie. But until, and I quote, I'm reading this quote right off on the website. Until now disgraced former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein heard the song by Michael Jackson, Scream, and he decided to change the movie name from Scary Movie to Scream, which I think kind of might have also played a part as to why like Scary Movie, like the spin-off, like those spoof movies, I think that's kind of where that came from. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just guessing like that's probably where that title came from for those movies. So that's pretty interesting. On to the next. So in the movie Titanic, Kate Winslet was really nervous about her nude scene that she had to do with Leo DiCaprio. So when they first met, she flashed him. She was just like, hey, what's up? Okay, nowadays we can't do that. Like, no, seriously, she would have gotten sued. But I guess that was her way of just like trying to get over her jitters, and she was like, look, you're gonna see him anyway, so whoop. It's crazy. Also, speaking about the Titanic, if you were to take away the opening scene, the ending scene, and any of the present day scenes that are filmed in the movie, the film was 2 hours and 40 minutes long, which is the exact same length of time that it took for the Titanic to sink on that fateful night. Also, it was reported that when the Titanic hit the iceberg, it was a collision of about 37 seconds. So also in the film, that scene of the scene of the Titanic like hitting the iceberg is 37 seconds long. Fun facts. Speaking of Leo, while we're in this Leo realm here, let's keep it going with him. So when he was filming Django, the scene where he like hits the table when Jamie Foxx is in the house and they're all at dinner and he's trying to like mess with Kerry Washington or whatever, that scene where he like slams his hand down on the table and it starts to bleed, yeah, that was real. He hit a wine glass stem, and so when his hand, and it cut his hand really bad, but he just kept going. He ignored it, he kept going, and the scene was fire. Like Quentin Tarantino was like, yes, like everyone was offset, like, but he kept going, they kept rolling, he did it, it was bomb. But of course after that they were like, okay, let's get your hand together because you just messed it up. But yeah, he really messed up his hand during that scene. There's like a joke that goes around us saying, because he kept saying like the N-word a lot, the spirits on that set didn't like it, so they was like, you know what, let me remind you that you acting here, so don't be feeling yourself a little too much with these lines. But yeah, that man really cut his hand and he kept going. I don't know if I would have had it in me. I mean, I guess maybe he was trying to like use his anger and he was like, this hurts so bad. I don't know. I'm weird. Whatever. Okay, on to the next film. This was about I Am Legend with Will Smith. So apparently he grew so fond of his like co-star little dog that he wanted to adopt her, and the dog trainer was like, you cannot have her. But I mean, he was filming that film for, I don't know, you usually film at least like 6 months. So he probably was filming 6 months to a year, 2 years, and just really got fond of her and wanted her, but the trainers were like, we love her more. Also during that movie, during the press release of that movie, when Will Smith was going on tours to do like press conferences, he accidentally gave away the end of that film. And so like when he was in Japan, and so all the reporters were like, what, you don't say, and like wrote it down. But Warner Brothers had to like ask them right then and there, please guys, like please don't release that, and they agreed not to do it without having to get paid. So Will, you got a little too excited there, maybe because he was trying to get that dog, who knows. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's something I would do. Like, I do that already in life. Like, I'll like blurt something out not even knowing. I'm like, yeah, you didn't know that she died at the end of the movie? And then everyone's like, no, we didn't. No, she died at the end. So I feel like he might have gotten so caught up in it, and he was like, yeah, you know, and then this happens, and you're just like, whoa, whoopsie. So I can't even blame him, because I definitely would have done the same thing. So next film is about Into the Woods. It's the newer one that came out with Meryl Streep. So Meryl Streep, her foot in that scene where she's in the garden and she's like singing to Emily Blunt and James Corden, she got her foot caught in her costume and she started to fall. Like her head was going back and like she was falling. Duh. And so all the guys, like the director, James Corden, everyone was like frozen, like, oh my God, like watching her fall. But Emily Blunt, who was pregnant at the time, stepped up and saved her from hitting her head on the concrete. And James Corden says, like, when he was saying this when he was getting interviewed, they were having like a Q&A session about it. And he was like, yeah, we pretty much thought we were gonna watch Meryl die that day. But the fact that all the men on set just stood there frozen, like, and a pregnant woman had to step in there and be like, I don't want that. I don't want you to die today. So that's pretty interesting. It goes to show how dangerous it can be on the set, even to yourself. While we are on the Meryl train, when she was, her first day of filming The Devil Wears Prada with Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep walked up to Anne and she was like, "Hi, I'm really glad you got this role. This is a really good role for you. You definitely deserve it. And I'm really excited to work with you." And so she goes off and she walks away, and she comes back and she was like, "And that's the last nice thing I'm going to say to you." So, because Meryl Streep is really mean to Anne Hathaway in the film, like, really mean to her. So I thought that was really cute. Like, that was nice of her to be like, "Hey girl, good job, proud of you. Don't expect that treatment again." So it's interesting also to hear like some people's little like ways of getting into their character. So that was really funny. And my last fact has nothing to do with the film at all, but it has to do with the people who award you for being in those films. So back in the day, back before any of us were born, the Oscar winners used to be announced before the ceremony actually happened. So the Academy Award organization would give the winners' names to certain newspapers so that they could like go ahead and get it ready and get it printed or whatever. But there was an agreement that they wouldn't release those newspapers until, of course, the awards were handed out, until 11 p.m. those nights, when after the awards were handled. So that ended quickly because the Los Angeles Times, they were in like some weird heated competition, and they announced that Gone with the Wind had won the 1940s Oscars. And so soon after that, the Oscars were like, we're not doing this anymore. We're just gonna keep it to ourselves. So that probably was my favorite fact, honestly. But yeah, since then, the rules have changed. No one gets to know who wins the Oscars until the exact moment that we see it on TV, because they announced the winners before they had even gotten the award, like before any of it was aired, any of that. So everyone was like, "Oh, we won. Oh, great. Good job. We won." Crazy. All right, everyone. I had a lot of fun looking these films up again. One day, I really hope that someone's going to be looking up fun facts about me on different movie sets, because I don't know, it's just really interesting to learn like the imperfections or the little parts that helped films become what they are today. So I think it's really cool, and this is a lot of fun. Comment below and let me know which fun fact was your favorite, because I had a lot. This one was a really good little list for me, so I had a lot of fun doing this one. So subscribe, like, let me know. Make sure you're smelling these roses, of course, during this time. And go vote! Go vote! Vote! Okay? We need to vote. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next week. I love you. Bye.